Ah, beautiful lights. Okay, so the inspiration is out the wazoo. Working on a new piece right now, the pearl, and the darkness that she comes from, and the rebirth. So if that is of interest to you, please stay tuned. And yeah, I just met with a beautiful soul sister of mine. She has two different color eyes, and she's in her 70s. And immediately when we saw each other, we were like, hi. And so we just met today, and she was wearing an animal print kind of top, and I was like, oh, it's the wild side, the embracing, the becoming of the wild side, the exodus of all creation, where we just are here to flow, to be, and to give our services when they present themselves. So let's see what comes through. Immediately, I want to share that in the infinite field of creation, the infinity, the balancing of the worlds, and when we balance those two worlds within ourselves, it's as if they open, and then we are all. We are a part of everything. We are there now, meeting ourselves for the first time here in human form. And by that, I mean the versions of us within that didn't feel worthy, that didn't know how to feel love, that didn't know how to be open enough to allow love to come in, that maybe held on to some pain and suffering. And so when we remove all of that from the vessel, we just allow the vessel to be cleansed and purged. And there might be a lot of people right now that are watching this who feel like you're walking through the fire right now. And I'm here to be a reminder that you're exactly where you need to be. For one, to pay attention to what is coming in and what is surfacing too, because they're playing hand in hand. They're working together. When you learn to dance with it instead of fight it, the tests are much easier. And ultimately, it's for the exit of the matrix into the creation world that was always meant for us to exist in. And I love that it is creation, it is the womb, and to be reborn means we must go through that portal, and sometimes that's uncomfortable. So, wow. I feel called to, one, introduce myself. I'm Jennifer Renee, and I am the beautiful owner of Within by Jen. I have created my business around helping the gifted program in all of us, because we all have gifts. But in the old world, the old matrix, we were led to believe that something was wrong with us for those gifts, and that they have been slandered, misused, abused. There is a lot of violence, there was a lot of manipulation, there was a lot of control and enslavement around those gifts. And so what better way to demonize those gifts? Because when we step into our sovereign power and our sovereign authority, then we are no longer manipulated, and we are no longer controlled by a system that wants to keep us enslaved. And so to break out of that space, to break out of that mold, and to dare to face it all and say, I'm not afraid anymore, takes a lot of diligence. It takes a lot of practice, and it does honestly take a lot of courage and bravery, but also a lot of softening. And so I'd like to remind you that wherever you are in your space, you're not losing the good parts of you. It's adding to, and it's adding to your strength. It's adding to your softness. So just because you step into your sovereign power doesn't mean that you're going to lose your sensuality, your softness, and your grace. Or just because you are learning to set boundaries and to stand in your authority and in your power and to use your voice doesn't mean that you have to lose your softness and your grace and your elegance. They can be both. We can be both. We are both. We are all of it, but we have lived in a world that tried to silence us, and we're not there anymore. So thankfully, if you're watching this, you are feeling a nudge, or you have heard the call, or you are feeling like something is missing. And the beauty of it is nothing's missing. It's here, and it's just about remembering. It's about waking it all up, removing the old, cleaning out the system, and aligning to the divine order, getting ourselves in order so that we can exist right here, right now, in this playing field, to be of service in leadership to humanity for the greatest show on earth. And I am honored to be here and to be speaking those words out loud, and to know that my role, our role, your role is so magical. It's a magical part of creation. And so what I say by that, think of whatever role you are, whatever job you work on the earthly realm, whatever job it is. You could be a teacher, you could be in the union, you could be a firefighter, you could be a lawyer, and you have everybody playing their roles, whatever role they are. And so let's just say a lawyer, for instance, because a lot of the times the spaces that we go into make us feel like we're going to be judged or persecuted or sentenced to death or locked away. And so the vision that I kept getting a while back was, if you are loaded with a specific energy, then if somebody triggers you and that trigger makes you unload, then you're going to unload that energy off on somebody else, instead of saying, okay, I know I'm feeling whatever it is you're feeling, anger. I know a lot of people are feeling angry right now. If you release that and honor it in a silent, in a safe space, then simultaneously a lot of other emotions come up with it, because normally the anger is just the tip of the iceberg from what is really buried underneath. And so when we do it in a safe place, we allow ourselves to open more, and by doing so, then you release yourself from the energy of anger. Anger no longer gets the best of you, and you're not bested by anything, and you overcome it, and you can stay open then to allow whatever it is you're wanting to allow. And so if we take the lawyer job, you have the lawyer does their job, the court marshal or the judge, everybody has a specific role. And so if you are here to be that, then be good at what you do. But it's really important on a soul's journey that we get back to our soul's mission of why we're here. And if you have always had a feeling that you're meant for more, you're meant for greater, that there's a belief system within you that there is something so much bigger speaking to you, calling you, you keep having like signs and synchronicities and conversations where you're like, man, this is not coincidence. And there's something within me that is just like bursting to come alive. Then I would definitely encourage you to follow that inspiration and to just follow the little nudges, those little whispers that tell you to turn left instead of right, or to go straight, or to wake up in the middle of the night and journal whatever it is that's coming to surface in your mind. Start writing it down. And it could just be the inspiration of having a conversation with somebody, asking the question, even if you feel uncomfortable. And you could lead with, man, I have a lot of questions, but I feel a little bit uncomfortable talking about this, but would you please go there with me? And I feel like if we start softening around our weaknesses, we can be more vulnerable and open to, I have no idea how to do this, and I would love to do it. I would love to learn more. How did you get to where you are? And we can all come together to help one another evolve at such a quicker pace than trying to do it alone. Now, I also would like to tap in on that, because we have been in isolation for so long, because one, we needed to not have the outside circumstances to muck everything up. Essentially, we had to come into stillness, come into silence, find that stillness within and sit in that silence without running, without feeling the need to do anything, and then allowing the version of us to come alive. And most often, it's hard to do that when there's other people's thoughts and opinions and voices plaguing, because everybody's in a different place on their journey, and we honor all places. We honor the evolution of every single human being here. A lot of times the isolation and the separation is where we really begin to listen. And listening is truly listening inwardly, not just listening to other people, but listening to other people, because every time somebody comes into our playing field, the messages that they have are helping each other. I feel a sneeze coming on. Whew. Okay. But also then, while we're giving advice, coming back in and taking our own advice as well, and really listening to, okay, if I'm going to take my own advice from anything that I've given to other people in this last week, maybe it was today, maybe it was in this last month that you're recalling now, how can you take your own advice? Because you know deep within what you need, and it's really about going back within and listening to that still small voice and allowing that still small voice to then come alive within us and take center stage, where the ego can just say, I'm done, I have been buried and put to rest, I am no more, and you lead, I'll follow, I am here to be a humble servant in the best way possible. And I think that was such a hard task, because the way that we have been shown being a humble servant hasn't looked wonderful at all. And my heart goes out to anybody that may be watching this that has ever, we have all experienced it to some extent, but if your family was ever a part of the slavery system, my heart goes out to you, and I see you, and I love you, and I honor you, and I honor you for being here to be the skipping stone, the rock that creates the waves that then heals your generational lineage. It heals your generational pain and trauma. Not an easy task, I know that to be true, but also a blessing when you begin to own it and you begin to really take it by the reins and say, I'm ready, let's ride. So that's where we are. I'm just trying to listen to see if there's anything else that I need to speak up on. Okay, I would like to offer the space of whatever it is that's been you've been harboring, and you've been feeling a little pain, suffering, or you've been feeling exhausted lately. There is an emotion that's underneath this. Whatever emotion has been plaguing you, I would invite you to just take it out of your hand, take it out of your body and hold it in your hand like it's a rock. And this is all, we're using our imaginations, but allow yourself to go there with me. I promise it works. This is always for your highest and best good and the highest good of all, through Mother, Father, God, the divine presence within us all. And if you want to bear witness to this, but you do not want to give your consent is always needed for the divine work to then play a part in your life. And so all you have to do is say yes in this moment right now. And so as we pull the emotion out, whatever it is, there's no blame, there's no shame, there is no anything. So to be honest, what I have been working with lately was comparison. So I put comparison in here. Jealousy was one a couple of weeks ago, and I shared a video, but I want to be honest and transparent with you so that you can see that there's nothing wrong with what we're truly feeling, but we honor it. So we'll put jealousy in here. We will put feelings of not being worthy right here. We will put feelings of like I hadn't done enough work. Put it right here. And so I'll give you a moment to remove them from your vessel and hold them in your hand. And if you need to pause it, please do so. If you need a little bit longer, take all the time you need and then join us again when you're ready. Now, as you see them in your hand, I want you to remember what version of you began to feel this way. And this might take some journaling. This might even be something that you do on your own. But as you see these rocks in your hand, I want you to know in this now moment that it is safe to let them go. And so as we sit here together, there is a fire between us, and we are communing together right now. And this fire is sitting in front of us. And one by one, I want you to drop these emotions in the fire and let them go. Let them burn, surrender them. Allow whatever emotion is surfacing for you. Allow whatever feelings are coming alive within you. These feelings are coming alive because they've been dormant for quite a long time. Allow them to surface and release. Maybe you want to yell. Maybe you want to cry. Maybe you want to smile. Maybe you're feeling things for the first time and it feels a little intimidating. Intimidation is okay. Vulnerability is okay. This weakness that you feel because you have been plagued by this is an okay feeling. Allow it all to be and sit and watch it burn. Just watch it. It is not yours. It was never ours. We were just not taught how to honor the emotion, surrender it, and set it free. And so now in this space, let's breathe together. And exhale. I would invite you to call in grace, compassion, love, tenderness. We're learning how to be these things for ourselves, offering ourselves grace, offering ourselves tenderness, offering, this was a big one for me, offering myself that I am tending to my garden and there's nothing else I need to do but to honor and love this garden that is within me so that I can give the most to you. But I have to tend to this garden first, because this garden will be diminished and it will be dehydrated and it will be dry and it will be cracked. And the more that I offer love to this space, the more I become love, the more that we become love. You're worthy. And there might be this version of you that's like, I don't know what grace feels like. That's okay. Imagine what grace would feel like when you know you've probably given somebody else grace. You've given someone else your patience. You've given somebody a helping hand or a listening ear. I would ask that you would honor that within yourself and gift yourself that today. Gift yourself this time to be fully present in your vessel with your feelings and honor them. Because when we honor them, they hold no power over us. So we unlock, we disengage. Once we disengage, it can be removed. Once it's removed, we can come alive. There's more space for us to grow, which is the version of us that wants to hold grace, the version of us that wants to hold compassion, the version of us that wants to hold wealth. All of these spaces come alive, whereas we, as a divine sovereign being here on earth, are the living example in all ways, shape, and form of a living, breathing being of light, in truth and in integrity. And so, as we are remembering who we are, the work begins with truth. The work begins with authenticity. The work begins with humbling vulnerability. And I know that vulnerability seems weakness, because if we open and we are weak in our perceived mind, then we have lived or come from a world where we could be under attack. So that's why I say, please, 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 when you are entering these spaces, say a prayer of protection, but also be with somebody that can assist you. But if you know you have the power to do it alone, sometimes people don't like to do it alone. It is very vulnerable, this softening and this opening. But I would encourage you to look around your space. I am safe. I am protected. I am okay to go there and to unravel. I am okay to do this and to offer this gift for myself. To meet yourself in the most tender, loving care. To meet yourself in the velvety softness of all that is. To meet yourself in the womb of creation. And to meet yourself for the first time in living form is the most beautiful and blessed gift that we are. We are here. And it's a beautiful time to be alive. You can't have one without the other. So choose to turn inward. Choose mindfully where you're giving your attention. Stay focused and stay centered. And yeah, I would encourage you now, after the release, to be aware within the next couple of weeks that the energy that you released is going to try to come back in to visit. All you have to do is say, oh, I see you. I see you. Remember, the person that's coming in is just the messenger. Forgive them, for they know not what they do, because the messenger of the energy is helping you. I know it doesn't seem like that in the moment, and I know that that person you want to attack, but the whole purpose of what we're doing here is to go within before we attack, because we don't want to exist in that world any longer, or maybe you do. But going within, this is the quickest way to harmony, is recognize the test, recognize whatever you put in that fire, the energy of coming back in and saying, I see you. You're not going to get the best of me today. I love you, but you are teaching me something. How can I learn from you, and how can we dance today? And so that when that moment comes and you choose to dance with that person, not, you don't have to do it, but maybe you do it. Maybe you do dance with somebody that has, maybe you see forsaken you. But when you choose to see that person as the reflection of you, and you say, okay, energy, I want to dance. Let's dance together, because I don't want to fight you anymore. The playing field softens, you open, and then you will receive. And the receiving of the gifts can be a little uncomfortable, because we have not quite been taught. We are teaching now, thankfully. Thank you. But we haven't quite been taught what true love feels like. And true love sees every single ounce of us. It's terrifyingly beautiful. It is raw and vulnerable and open, while also being held and nourished and elevated and loved in this sacred space. So I'm Jennifer Renee. This is Within by Jen. It's within you. It always has been. Have a blessed and beautiful day, and I look forward to your comments. Please like and share with anybody who you feel would benefit from this. It is an honor and a privilege. And if you would like to leave a donation, a gift, an exchange, it would be wonderful to receive. I leave the links below on all of my videos to ways that you can donate. You can also visit my website, withinbyjen.com. All of my links are there, and my services and offerings are also there as well, if you would like to lurk if you would like to come in and look at my website, but if you would like to work one-on-one. So it's an honor, a privilege, and I know that each and every day we're growing bigger and bigger with countries that are coming in, and it's an honor to grow in love together, and then to see you all put that love in place wherever you are all over the world. So I love you, and I will see you guys in the next video.